this works, it would definitely go down as one of the craziest ideas or hunts that I've ever had. So I've been thinking, being that we've got a string of west and northwest winds coming up, starting today, it's a west-northwest, and I was like, man, I gotta try to get somewhere close to where these deer are coming out, but on the east side of where they're coming out, so I don't get winded. I might be a little too close, so I'm a little bit worried about that. But I got this idea, and it's pretty windy. It's like, I think it said like 17, 18 mile an hour winds. So I figured, why not give it a shot? Coming here with this strong wind, I knew I was going to make some noise trying to clear out a couple little shooting lanes. So I cleared out a couple lanes. If he comes out tonight and comes to the same fence crossing that he has been going to, and hopefully he wasn't bedded up over here when I came walking in, but if he comes out tonight and comes into this grass patch, he's going to be well within bow range. And I may not even see him tonight, I don't know. But the conditions were right, I felt, to try this. And it's really, really aggressive, and it's really dangerous, you know. I mean, if he happens to be back here and feed out this way for whatever reason, I've not seen him do that, but if he does, he's going to get a nose full of me before I ever see him. And it may potentially ruin my chances at him this late season, but I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty. We've only got a couple weekends left, so I've got just a handful of days left to get it done on this buck. So I am pulling out all the stops, so to speak. So it is officially January 1, 2024. So, Happy New Year, everybody. I slipped back in here to the same spot that I sat yesterday evening. And this afternoon, the wind is a lot more westerly than it was. Yesterday, it was more west-northwest. This afternoon, it's more straight out of the west. I'm not going to be able to get away with any sort of movement tonight like I was last night, but I like this spot that I'm set up in because I've got a lot more cover here than I do at the other spot that I've been sitting on the ground for this buck. If I don't have another encounter with this deer for the rest of the season, It's been fun as hell chasing this buck around. I've had some great encounters and some super fun hunts chasing this deer around here in the last couple of weeks. And some of the best encounters that I've had ever. Bow hunting whitetails, just being that I've been on the ground and at times been feet away from some of these deer. And I've had this deer within bow range. You know, I can't even remember how many times now. At least 5 times, I think. 4 or 5 times well within bow range. I've talked about it before. The deer is obviously not a big racked buck whatsoever, but he's still a mature deer, and he's a deer that we're targeting on this property specifically coming into the season. And he still is a buck that we want to get off of here. And, you know, just because he doesn't have much on his head doesn't mean that he's not just as sharp as any other mature buck. You know, I mean, they're all different. They've all got their own personalities or deernalities, if you will. It's just as difficult trying to get it done. And then you add in the fact that I'm trying to get it done with the bow from the ground in late season. This would be a really awesome accomplishment for me. Last night, I ended up having a phenomenal sit. The action was very quick and actually pretty short, but still had a good hunt. I think it was 6 bucks come out basically in single file line, and they just skirted me. The flared buck was bringing up the rear of those 6, and they were just they weren't just out of range. I mean, I'm not going to take a 50-yard shot at this buck. I've had him well within 30 yards like 4 different times now, but they all skirted me, and they basically took the trail that I've been sitting on over to the west here, about 50 yards, and went out in the field, and he came by at, I think it was 59 is what I was getting him at with the rangefinder. And they didn't even stop. I mean, they just like walked straight by, single file line, way out into the field to feed. I waited till it was dark, slipped out, so got in and out perfectly clean. So here I am. Decided to come back and give it another shot, and maybe kick 2024 off on a really good note. There's a bunch of deer right here. A couple of bucks, but I can't tell who it is. One of them is the 10, I think. Got him. Got him. He's done. He's going down right there. He's down right there. Oh no! He shed his antlers. Oh my God. He's done. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I can't believe it. Got him. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I got it on camera or not. I don't know if he walked through the frame or not, but shot was, I'm trying to be quiet because there's still a bunch of deer right here and I don't want to spook them too bad, but shot, I don't know what my deal is with high and back, but I think I pulled that. I fear that shoulder so much. I think it's just a subconscious thing, but shot was a little bit high, a little bit back. It just hammered him though. Man, I'm shaking. Wow. Unbelievable. Right there, I mean, it was 30 yards. I bet he ran 40, 50 yards over here. And he started to stumble and he went down. And I thought he went down right there, but he actually got back up. And when he got back up, his antlers were gone. So when he hit the dirt the first time, his antlers popped off and he shed both sides. And then he made it about another 20 yards or so, it looked like, right here in this little dip in this field, and went down. Oh man, what a crazy quest. Unbelievable. January 1, late season bow buck on the ground, no blind. I don't even know how many encounters that is with that deer. Man, it's been a long, tough season and I've grinded my butt off. And that deer, rack-wise, is likely the smallest buck I've ever shot. I'm just as proud of that deer, of any deer that I've ever shot. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I gotta make some phone calls. This is crazy. I can see him laying back here in the field. Man, I am so pumped. I'm gonna go over here and look at the shot though. Look at my arrow. Every night I have seen this deer come to this spot. Man, look at that trail. There's some does back there. That's that fence crossing. That's the trail that they've been coming on every night. That's the tree that I have been sitting by on the ground. And with a west wind, I switched it up and came over here. There's a little drainage coming off this field tile. And I was just sitting right back in there off that drainage ditch. Blood trail is unbelievable. There he is right there. Man, I still can't believe it. I gotta see if I can find these antlers though before it gets dark. Wow. Okay, well this is where he stumbled. Oh, there's one of them. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Oh my God. I cannot believe that. I have never seen anything like that. I don't know where the other one. Oh, it's right here. I walked over it. Unbelievable. I mean, what a blood trail, but that's crazy. I could have missed that. I mean, it was buried. Unbelievable. Here's his other side. I cannot believe that. Wow. Alright. I already found him. That's why I wanted to find the antlers before it got dark, but let's go get him. Wow. Holy cow. He's bigger than I thought. Oh man. What a beautiful deer. Man. Thank you so much, buddy. What a chase it's been. Well, Jonathan and I got him out of the field and we got him kind of propped up here, cleaned up a little bit. I kind of still can't believe this happened tonight. I mean, I guess that's a pretty good way to kick off the new year. I really was starting to believe that this wasn't going to happen. I've had some of the most incredible hunts over these last couple of weeks. You know, coming into this late season, after the whole Wally situation, I knew that I was going to have to shift my focus onto a different deer. And going back to the list of target bucks that we had going into this season, several of those bucks are now question marks, and a couple of the properties are basically unhuntable this time of year. And so, you know, the name of the game at that point was going to be find a buck that we were targeting coming into the season that we could try to get on with some consistency. We were able to locate the flared buck, see him moving on a very consistent pattern, and decided to start hunting him here over these last couple of weeks. And we saw him just about every night coming out in almost the exact same spot into this cornfield. And it just so happened that, you know, this has got to be one of the best food sources in this immediate area. And he was definitely keyed in on it tonight. Got set up in that spot I sat in last night, which I had to adjust a little bit because of the west wind. I knew if I got some deer in close, it could be pretty dicey, but I also knew that if this deer was going to come out to this field, I had a pretty good chance at getting a shot at him out of that spot. I looked up and I saw a couple does coming through the pasture, moving my direction, and then behind them, I saw a couple bucks coming in. This deer was notorious for always flicking his tail. I don't know what the deal with that is, but he always seemed to be flicking his tail every time I saw him, just an unusual amount. And I saw that 2-year-old 10 that he's been with a lot here this late season. I saw him come through this little opening, and behind him I saw a buck that I thought was him, and but I wasn't sure, and I saw that tail flicking.
and I thought, man, that's got to be him. So I got ready, grabbed the bow, and I saw that those bucks were kind of nudging around a few does back there, and then I could just see through the brush that there was a deer that had come to the fence crossing and had just jumped the fence, and I wasn't sure who it was or not. And then he stepped out from behind the brush, and I could just see his head there. He stopped for a second and kind of surveyed the field, and yeah, I mean, I knew this was going to be my opportunity for sure. And he walked right out into that grassy strip where he had fed out into so many times, just right out in that low spot, kind of where that field tile drains. And 30-yard shot. Unfortunately, I don't think I got the shot on film. I had to try to stop him, and I stopped him, but he kind of still was taking a step forward and stepped just out of frame whenever I fired the shot. But he's actually a little bit bigger body-wise than we thought he was. He's got a real big head on him. Just a beautiful buck, and I couldn't be happier to finally put a tag on a good buck this year. I mean, it's been a long season for me. I've been grinding it out pretty good, and it's been a tough year, but it's been a fun one. And this buck right here, man, he left me with some incredible memories and some super fun hunts over the last couple of weeks here in this late season. So bow buck from the ground, January 1st. I'm pretty pumped about that.